So, our story starts with our gal, Jerem. Her dad kicks the bucket and leaves her stuck with her stepmom, Botox Barbie, Sora, and two stepsisters who wouldn't know nice if it bit them. Turns out, Sora only married Jerem's dad cause he was manly, not cause she actually liked him. Now she's wondering what to do with herself besides refilling her wrinkles. Jerem wants to escape from Botox Barbie and the stepsisters of doom, so she figures working might be nice. Then she finds a letter from her dad. Disappointment strikes faster than a snail on roller skates. It's written on a fancy club flyer. Dad wants Jerem to work at this rich people place called Chungdam Heaven and snag a rich hubby, pronto. Basically, his last words were, "Marry money, don't work hard and die young like me." Thanks, Dad. Speaking of Chungdam Heaven, the boss is this spoiled rich kid named Chaman. He's from a fancy family, but way down the line, so he's richish, not swimming in money rich. Business is bad, but instead of getting more rich people to join, he gives his employees a raise because, hey, happy employees. Back to Jerem, who's having a dream chat with Dad, who's looking like a ghost with bad advice. He tells her to be like Cinderella and throws a pumpkin at her because apparently that's how fairy tales work. She wakes up to a call from her friend Jun-young, who snagged them invites to a wedding at Chungdam Heaven. Thanks, former employee bride. The wedding's a mess. The groom's ex throws a tantrum, and Chaman, the boss, fights him off with an umbrella because apparently that's how you handle breakups in high society. Meanwhile, Jerem's dreaming of her dad walking her down the aisle, awkward. Sun-young chimes in with some "marry rich" wisdom, while everyone else is just checking out the ladies, or, in Chaman's case, completely ignoring them. Oh, and Chaman loses his fancy scarf. But who cares, right? Well, Jerem catches it and thinks it's a good sign. Maybe a little too good. Back in reality, things get worse. Turns out, Dad wasn't exactly Mr. Responsible. He borrowed a ton of money and even guaranteed a loan for his sister, who then skipped out on paying it back. So, their house gets taken away, and they have to move into a tiny apartment where Jerem has to share a room with the ever-so-lovable Wajin. Jerem's dream of becoming an artist goes on hold because, well, no money. Stepmom, who's now teaching belly dancing classes while pregnant, talk about multitasking, faints from exhaustion. Jerem, ever the good stepdaughter, imagines a hilarious future where she's raising a baby in a shack. Thanks, Dad's advice. With no experience and a fridge that mocks her, Jerem remembers Dad's "life's a gamble" speech and decides to try her luck at Chungdam Heaven. She trains like Rocky, with tips from elderly neighbors. Even tries starving herself to fit into her only uniform. Bad idea, Jerem. Just as she's about to head out, Wajin catches her fridge raiding act, and they end up eating everything, because who can resist a good fridge raid? Meanwhile, Chaman is grumpy because his manager just quit, rude. He wants to hire someone who won't leave. Basically, someone who can tolerate him. Secretary Hyo thinks he's a heartless jerk, but Chaman defends himself by saying he does charity. Jury's still out on that one. On her way to the interview, Jerem loses a shoe, thanks, high heels. She chases after it, only to find Chaman holding it. In her head, he's Prince Charming. In reality, he's accusing her of attempted murder. Way to go, Jerem. And that's how our first episode of Dreaming of a Freaking Fairy Tale ends.